To do things in a way you want to do them, you will have to acquire the ability to think the way you want to think. This is the first step toward getting rich. To think what you want to think is to think truth regardless of appearances. You could very easily skip over that. I don't want you to. I want you to really mentally play with what I've just said. To do things in a way you want to do them, you will have to acquire the ability to think the way you want to think. In other words, if you want to live an opulent lifestyle, you're going to have to think that way. If you want to earn many times what you're earning without working hard, you're going to have to think that way. And you see, this is the first step toward getting rich. To think what you want to think is to think truth regardless of appearances. What Waddles is really saying is quit letting your physical world control your higher world. Do you know, if you were working with electricity, you always work from a higher to a lower potential. You never work the other way. Why is it in life we work from a lower to a higher potential? Well, if you think about it for a while, it'll become obvious. We've been programmed to do that. As little kids, the parent will say, will you listen to what I'm telling you? Will you look at this? Always the attention is brought to bear on the outside world, never on the inside world. If we would quietly move towards the little person and say, what do you see in your mind? What are you looking at? And encourage them to talk to you about the pictures that are going on in their mind, they would live in a much different world. Now let's go back to Wallace Wattles' words. He said, you have the natural and inherent power to think what you want to think, but it requires far more effort to do so than it does to think the thoughts which are suggested by appearances. To think according to appearances is easy. To think truth regardless of appearances is laborious and requires the expenditure of more power than any other work you have to perform.